This is how to install a tow hook mounted license plate on a Cadillac CTS. The car today is going to be a 2013 Cadillac CTS-V coupe. There are multiple tow hook mount options available. Today I'm going to be using the EOS plates mount. I don't know what changed over COVID, but in all my years, I had never gotten any grief about no front license plate, even though it's technically required here in the state of Texas. However, post-COVID, in the last 4 years or so, I've been pulled over 5 times for no front license plate. Even though I clearly am a legal registered vehicle, the rear plate, the sticker in the window, I really tried to be supportive of law enforcement. I have a relation that was in it. I know they have a tough job and it's a thankless job, but it's so hard when I'm getting constantly harassed over something stupid like no front license plate. All the crime that's going on in the city and around the area, and there's nothing better to do but screw with me about my front license plate, especially when my car does get broke into and I call the police and they tell me not to waste their time calling them over things like my car getting broke into and my stereo stolen. Come on guys, help me help you. You need to do better. And it wasn't just in the fast cars, it was twice in the Porsche, once in the Cadillac, and twice in the Volkswagen. So anyway, after 5 times of being senselessly harassed by law enforcement over horseshit like no front license plate, I finally got sick of it and broke down and got the EOS plates. I sure didn't want to screw holes into the front of the bumper, and I hate the look of those big front center license plates. So I went with the tow hook, specifically the EOS plates, and here's how to install it on this particular car. The first step is go to the front of the car and find the tow hook cover. It's going to be a small cap, and what I use is a body piece tool, which is plastic instead of a metal screwdriver. That way you're less likely to scratch the paint as you're removing this. Feel around the edges with a plastic tool until you find a spot, probably on the side, that's going to pop it loose. Be careful, don't break the tabs. And then what you'll see is you probably have some kind of a little retaining piece that you'll squeeze from the inside to remove the cover. Be sure to remove it, because if you leave it in place, it's probably going to blow off going down the road. Look inside and you're going to see female threads where you would insert your tow hook. On the Cadillac, a tow hook was not included with the vehicle. Confirm that you have the right piece with the right threads to go in. This is important because heaven forbid you got the wrong part and the threads aren't correct. You don't want to force it and strip the threads out on that tow hook port. Insert the rod using a 17mm socket and torque it maximum 60 foot-pounds. Once the rod is in place, look and see if it's going to be okay as it is or if you're going to need a spacer. Sometimes a spacer is required to get the plate bracket farther away from the body of the car. In this case, I ended up not using a spacer for the final installation. The next series of parts will be first a bolt going through the oval adapter, they call it, with the spacers on each side. So look at the spacers and make sure that the part of the spacer that goes into the slot is proper. After the oval bracket and the 2 spacers, behind that is the lock washer with the ridges on it, and then the rubber washer goes up against the adapter bolt. Use the proper included wrench and tighten it until it's snug, but make sure it's not tight all the way yet until you get everything else put in place. You can see the oval adapter rotates, not only about the bolt, but it actually rotates with respect to the front face of the vehicle. The next step is to take the actual plate mount and use a couple more screws to connect that to the oval adapter. Obviously, you have a lot of flexibility with where you can mount the plate, how high up, down, side to side. The more central you can get it, the more stable it's probably going to be and the less flex you'll have on the edges. This is important because you don't want the edges to flex so much that it comes back and hits the car. If this is happening, you definitely want to go back and install one of those spacers I mentioned. In any of these type of installations, you want to look around and try to position the plate such that it's not going to block or minimally block any lights or cooling, radiators, etc. Go back and make sure that the bolt holding the oval bracket and washers to the adapter bolt are solid and tight, and that the two screws holding the plate bracket to the oval bracket are tight. Then you can actually install your license plate. The bolts are just a little bit small for the slots, so I recommend using a flat washer underneath them for this. These washers are actually from a 1/4-20 screw, so I do have to go get some smaller washers later to better fit these. You also want to take a look behind it to make sure you have enough clearance where this plate isn't going to bang against your car. Yes, it will flex somewhat. Just keep an eye on it as you drive it and make sure it's not hitting the paint. And don't forget to take the tow hook cover and put it safe somewhere, like in your glove box. And now that you have one less reason to get pulled over in your Cadillac, please click link below to subscribe, click the little bell for notifications, and let's live for today.